Usually, varna meaning color, the color of the skin, right? Previously, people were determined, were being categorized, by the color of their skin, which were, of course, white and black, right? Later, where we got the issue, the problem of apartheid, for example, in South Africa, right? Apartheid in South Africa, where it became a great issue. You can put that in your work if you are writing, how when we categorize people based on color of the skin, it brings problems. It brings discrimination, right? So we should not, it is pas proper also to categorize people by the color of the skin. We didn't choose this color. The color that you are, you didn't choose that. No one chose that, right? We got that. It can be inheritance, Akko's parents, right? The geographical area wherever we are living, right? People in Europe, they are different, and we are different, right? It depends on the geography as well. So discriminating, we are categorizing people based on color of the skin is definitely not proper for a peaceful, for a harmonious society. This is not correct, okay? Do mention the South Africa in your work if you're writing about this, right? Now, this is one meaning of varna. Now, according to Professor Robson, according to Professor Robson, the color of the skin was the origin of caste system. You do mention this when you are writing. Please note that, okay? Whenever you are writing about varna, where you have to write the meaning of varna, do mention what Professor Robson had said in his articles, that the origin of caste system, c'était color of the skin, right? Do mention. Now, if we go in details, what is the meaning of the word varna? Varna is a Sanskrit word which comes from the word vri. When we square root, because it comes from the root verb. Root verb vri. Okay. Dans l'examen, je pas mettre square root, please. You write root verb vri. Varna comes from the word vri. Vri means to choose, means to select, right? And what do we select normally? We select our profession. This is what we select based on the varna dharma. We select, we choose our profession. Now, there are many scriptures in the world. All the scriptures in the world mention the 4 varnas. Ce qui nous Veda aussi mention. Even the Bhagavad Gita, even the Vedas, all of them, they mention the 4 varnas. The Brahman, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya, and the Shudras, right? You have other scriptures also. They categorize society under these 4, the 4 varnas. Lipare partout, right? So you do know that, of course. Now, moving with this, the caste system where do we find its origin? Its origin, Vidya, from where does it come from? Who has given this to us? Who has initially, firstly, explained this to us? You all know from where we got the Vedas. The Vedas say the words of God. The Vedas come from God, right? So whatever we talk about the varna ashram dharma, say the dharma given by God to us. The very seed, the very maybe parce que Veda is the original scripture of Hinduism. So we will firstly refer to Veda. Also Bhagavad Gita, but Bhagavad Gita comes later. First, we have the Veda, which is the ancient and the original scripture for the Hindus of Hinduism, right? So we get that from the Rig Veda, from even the Yajur Veda. Also, we have mentioned about the Varna, particularly about the Rig Veda, where we have the Purusha Sukta. The Purusha Sukta talks about Purush. Sukta means a section, right? Purush, say the God. Purush no marma, in Hindi, it means man, a man, yan Purush. But here it's not referring to man. Purush here is being referred to Brahman. Brahman, that is God, the Supreme One. Ou bien you call that the Supreme Spirit, the Divine Spirit, whatever you call it, right? So it comes from the Vedas, particularly from the Rig Veda or from the Purusha Sukta, right? What does it say? I'll read this part. You have this in the, all the notes. You can refer to that. He is known as Narayan. He means the Supreme Being. We are talking about the Supreme. Is also Narayan. We call him Narayan. The Purusha Sukta actually describes the earliest structure of the Vedic society. Earliest structure of the Vedic society. So in the Vedic times itself, society was structured in that way, right? Because time immemorial, in the very ancient time, society was structured between a Brahman, Kshatriya, the Vaishya, and the Shudra. But think about the same country, India, the same society in India. Later on, there was discrimination. Mais par contre, in the earliest time, Veda told us about this structure already, which was divided into the four varna, as you know. Each category corresponds to a particular part of Purush. We say that from the Purush, from the God, from each part of the God came one varna. Usually you have it this way. Even in your Form 5 book, you have this mention. There's a verse in your Form 5 book. From the Purusha Sukta, from the head of the Brahman, imagine this is the Brahman. From the head of the Brahman came the Brahmans, right? That is the head of the Purush of Brahman came the Brahmans. Here Brahmans say the sages, the priests class and all. From the arms came the Kshatriya. From the belly, or at times we say from the thighs, Okay, from the belly or the thighs came the Vaishya, and from the feet came the Shudra. You have to be able to write this in your work. We come from, we, the 4 categories. We come from the same Brahman. That's why we say there's no point of discrimination when we come from the same Brahman. It's just like, let's say your parents, I don't know how many children you are, but let's say your parents have 3 children, right? Including you have 3 children. Do parents love one child more than the other? Normalement, no. It's not the case. Maybe nous nous trouvons les contents l'autre là plus, but it's never the case parce que the 3 are the children of the parents. The parents will love the 3 of them equally. Okay? There will be no discrimination. There will be no difference. C'est la même chose. We come from God. We come from the Brahman. We come from the Purush, from God, from different parts of God, right? But we come from him. So why discriminating? And also there is one thing which you can develop maybe in your work, or you can reflect about it. In this birth, Hinduism believes in birth, no? Rebirths. In this birth, for example, I am a Brahman. It might have been in my previous birth, I was a Shudra. It could, no? It could be. Maybe in my next birth, I will be a Kshatriya. Who knows? Right? Who am I now? Obviously, I mean, to a higher level for you to be able to reflect. Who am I? Right? Of course, you might say you are miss this, miss that. But who am I really? Am I the soul? You can refer here to Bhagavad Gita. Refer to Bhagavad Gita. Am I the soul here? Or am I the body? Am I the soul or am I the body? The answer is very clear. I am a soul. We are souls. We have a body, yes, a body to act as a vehicle. The body acts as a vehicle for the soul. But in inner sense, in real sense, I am a soul. So why do discrimination based upon soul? Why do discrimination since we are all souls? I might have been in previous birth a Brahman, today I'm a Kshatriya, next birth I might be a Shudra, whatever it is. Then why discrimination? It makes no sense. Community, I am a soul. The reality is I am a soul. We are all souls. So the discrimination actually makes no sense. So try to reflect to that level, okay? Yeah, so we were talking about this. You need to be able to write. You can refer to your ST book. I'm not showing, let me check which page it is. If you used the Towards Understanding Hinduism in Form 5, maybe it is on the page 179. 179. Okay, it's the same description here, what I explained, which I explained to you, right? Now, this was about what the Purusha Sukta says, Sisa. Each category comes from a particular one, right? Now, why the Brahmins came from the head? Because they deal with knowledge, obviously. The Kshatriya, say power, physical power. The Vaishya from the belly. The Vaishya, usually they are traders, businessmen, right? So from the belly. And Shudra, they are usually like manual workers, right? Like servants, etc. So logically, this is why they came from that different parts, right? And not to forget, all of them, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, all of us, we are interdependent. We are interdependent. I give you an example. I'm a teacher. As being a teacher, I am classified as a Brahman. Fine. When I go to school, I am a Brahman there. I sit in my staff room. I have a place, right? I sit there. If a Shudra doesn't clean that place, can I sit there to work peacefully, properly? No, I can't. I need someone to clean that place. I need someone maybe to clean the toilet. If there's no canteen, I'm hungry at school. There's no canteen. From where will I get food? The Vaishya, the canteen man, say the Vaishya. So we are all interdependent, right? Even a Kshatriya, Lidipano, and Brahman for knowledge, right? This is what we meant by interdependent. Now, apart from being interdependent, caste is changeable. Caste is changeable. Today, I'm a teacher, so I am a Brahman. And tomorrow, I decide to change my profession. I do a business. So I will become a Vaishya, right? You have many such examples where we had the change, that shift, the change in caste. For example, you take Parshuram, one of the incarnation of Vishnu. Parshuram was a Brahman. Nukalze Brahman u Brahmin. Onongle ban ongle zutsevi Brahmin. You can use any one of them. It makes no difference. Okay. Mais c'est moi connais bien quand je dis à Brahman, est-ce qu'ils peut dire Brahman the sage ou bien Brahman God? Ça, je disais clair de ça. So the example I was saying of Parshuram, who was the incarnation of Vishnu, he was a Brahman normally, but later he changed it to Kshatriya. If you remember the stories of Parshuram, he killed even his mother. He killed even the 21 kings, right? So because of those kings, actually, that from Brahman, he became a Kshatriya. This is one particular example. You have another example in Mahabharata, for example. Mahabharata, you have Guru Dronacharya and Guru Kripacharya. These are two gurus, Dronacharya and Kripacharya. They were Brahmins. No, they were Brahmins, they were gurus, but they became Kshatriya. Quand in a Mahabharata war, they fought, they became Kshatriya. So when there is a shift in career, in profession, there's also a shift in the varna, right? This is important, and it is important for you to write examples like this. These are examples. You choose any example you want to write, ou envie écrire tous les trois, ou envie écrire un là-dedans, up to you. Example should be in your work, right? Yeah, so caste, we are interdependent, we are caste are changeable. Now, why was there caste? Of course, to the aim of the varna system. The aim of the varna system, say for proper functioning of the society. To bring a balance to the society, to bring a balance, to have a division of labor, how to bring that balance if we have a society where the majority of people are Brahmins and Kshatriya. But who will bring food and clothes to us? Who will do business? Who will clean the country? Who will clean the house or whatever? Who will be laborers? So we need a balance. Some people, they do the work of Brahman, they give education. Some people, they protect us, right? Some people, they do trade, business, so that we can have clothes, we can have food, and we have also laborers, we have also like clerks to or servants, whatever, right? Donc, the aim of the varna system, serve proper functioning of society to bring a balance in the society so that the society can be peaceful, so that the society can be in harmony and everyone will progress. La personne individually will progress, and when we progress individually, the society progresses, right? Now, this is how we can illustrate this. You don't do illustrations in your answers, just for you to understand how it is. At the top, we have Brahmins, parce que Brahman give knowledge to all. Then we have the Kshatriya, the Vaishya, and the Shudra, right? But unfortunately, with time, with misinterpretations of teachings in the Ved and other scriptures, there have been many misinterpretations. Kinarive, this Shudra part has been extended, right? Comme si nous add a fifth. It's not a fifth one. It's not called the fifth. It's as if we added a fifth caste there, right? C'est plutôt an extension of the Shudra. Now they are called the untouchables. En Hindi, nous appelons ça achut. If you know Hindi, we call that achut in Hindi. Ça veut dire quelque chose ou bien quelqu'un qui n'est pas capable de toucher. Si vous touchez, you will get a disease, you will be opusal, right? It's like that. You will be impure. They were called the untouchables. But this doesn't come from the Rig Veda, India Purusha Sutta. This doesn't come from there. Ça c'est d'une société, you know, with the invasion of the Muslims in India, with the invasion of British in India, we got issues like that, and it became a big issue in India, a big problem in India, where we had reformers like Gandhi, like Ambedkar. Okay, they fought for this category of people. Since we are talking about this, let's come to this part. The untouchable one, they are called the Dalit. These notes is not part of the paper one, but I'm referring to this because we are talking how reformers in reform society for the Shudras. Okay. So those untouchables, they were called the Dalit. Dalit is a Hindi word. Dalit veut indimun qui ou reste torturé. Someone who is being tortured. Cum dire, ou reste crasé, cum on dit en créole, crase indimun, like. It's like that. This is the meaning of Dalit in India. So we had many Dalit movements so that the Shudras or the untouchables or the Dalits, they could get their rights, right? One among them, c'était Jyotirao Phule. She was the first teacher, female teacher, okay, where she educated even the Shudras. She educated the Shudras. That's one example. You just note the examples. Huh? If you want to go through all these notes, you are free, of course. But pour section, pour paper one, you just mention these examples. Don't go in details. Okay? Beware of that. So you can take the example of Jyotirao Phule, who was a teacher, right? And you can take also the example of course, Mahatma Gandhi, right? Mahatma Gandhi, who fought the problem of caste system, right? He fought for that. We had also Ambedkar. I just mentioned his name, Ambedkar. Ambedkar is known to be the father of the Dalits, of the untouchables. Throughout his life, his aim of life was verily to work for the untouchables, for the Shudras, right? His aim of life was that. So you can take this example as well. So Mahatma Gandhi, he used to call those Shudras Hari Jan. Do mention that in your work. He was calling them Hari Jan. Hari means Vishnu, who means God. Jan means people. So the people of God, the children of God. But it's nice, no? Gandhi, yeah, okay, you are all Harijan, you are not untouchables, you are part of the society, I call you Harijan. Of course. But Ambedkar opposed that. Ambedkar opposed that. Because when you are calling one particular category of people of a society Harijan, it means you are favoring them. But why favor a category when everyone has equal rights? Understand this well. We can't favor one category because the two equal rights in India. Everyone actually, as per the Constitution of India, everyone has equal rights, but still, Shudras do not get their rights. That's why Ambedkar and Gandhi, they were actually, into inverted commas, enemies. They were opponents. They were kind of enemies, right? Whatever the case, Ambedkar fought for the untouchables and Gandhi also fought for the untouchables, right? So you can take these examples in your work. This PowerPoint also is in the notes I sent, right? So you can go through that. So we were talking about the untouchables. So in India, the untouchables, je tenais un privilège. If you have watched the movie, at times it's good to watch movie. The Hindi movie, Arakshan. If you haven't, do watch it. Arakshan. Arakshan means reservation. Banshudra Zatena and privilege, that is reservation, Arakshan. Reservation in what? In colleges, at work. That is, let's say in a college, approximately some percentage, let's say 10 to 12%. It's not the exact, but approximately, it's less, of course. Such a percentage is reserved for children, for students of the Shudra community. This was done by Ambedkar. It's ça dans la loi, the Constitution of India, right? So that to give Shudras the chance to be educated. Normalement, in India, what happens, Ekanuja and Shudra, most of the time, a Shudra is illiterate or uneducated. Parce que the work they do, for example, scavenging in India, n'est pas autant sophistiqué comme on est à Maurice, right? They have a time to work, and then after that they are free. So then in camion, etc. They have all the necessary equipment, les gants, boots, etc. But in India, c'est pas ça. Even scavenging in Mauritius, you need to have a certain qualification, but there no. It's not important to have the qualification for scavenging in India. Anyone can do that. Illiterate, most of them, they were doing that. Cleaning of toilets, cleaning of drains. Say the work of in India, the work of the Shudras, the work of the untouchables. À cause de tu peux clean drains and toilets, that's why they became untouchables, because it's sale. No, that's why the white ou bien the upper caste in the Hindu society, they were not touching them, they were not being in company of these people, right? So I was telling you about the reservation in colleges, even at work. In un certain pourcentage qui nous vient garder in India, que nous vient garder pour ban Shudras. That is a good thing, very nice. But il y a aussi a small disadvantage. Most of the time, the Shudras, they are like, they don't go to school, they don't like going to school. If the parents have so many children, they get beaucoup d'enfants aussi, so that they can, all of them can work to earn money. No, that is also, if you do sociology, maybe you can agree to that, to have more work, right? They have so many children, to have work to get more money. So why being educated? But the same child, n'est pas éduqué, n'est pas good marks in a subject, for example, and the same child goes to, let's say, goes to the school or be a college to study, let's say to become a teacher, let's say to become a doctor. Does that work? Not really. But I'm not saying que Penaman Shudras qui n'a avancé. Il y a beaucoup Shudras qui n'a avancé aussi dans la vie. De nos jours, we have many like that, right? So that is a bit the situation of India, and that is a bit what has been described in this movie. Do watch it if you have not.